Let's head to Egypt now. The country has signed two more loan deals with the World Bank and the African Development Bank. Now, according to the Minister of International Cooperation Sahar Nas, Egypt has signed a loan of $3 billion with the World Bank and $1.5 billion with the African Development Bank. The country is also expected to sign a loan of $1 billion with China later in the week. Now, these loans come after Egypt agreed in principle with the IMF for a $12 billion loan that is expected in Egypt in the coming days, of course, after official approval in Washington. Now, Yasser Kim joins me in Cairo with some insight into this situation. Yasser, welcome to the show. Now, of course, it looks like Egypt has another $4.5 billion in the pipeline with this new deal. The government said it's meant to go towards, of course, the state budget. What is the government really telling us now about where these new funds will go?
Right, the World Bank operates differently than the IMF, the World Bank and the African Development Bank in China. The IMF loan usually goes to macroeconomics. We're talking about the state budget, we're talking about the dollars, the foreign reserves and mega projects. But the World Bank loan usually is specified for certain projects, and it's named that this money will go into this and that project. And we're talking about projects to fund the small and medium enterprises. SMEs need to have an injection of funds to create more jobs and to create more business opportunities. So the part of it will go to the SMEs. Another part will go to the infrastructure projects, roads and streets and projects for sewage system in the poor areas and the villages and cities outside Cairo. Then you've also got projects for the social welfare and health. And those will be projects to help develop the hospitals and the healthcare system, as well as the social welfare for the poor population.
Now, Yasser, we also know that the government has opened up channels of communication with a number of Arab countries, of course, to provide financial aid as well, and of course, China as well. We mentioned that earlier. Any update on these talks?
Yes, Saudi Arabia and the Emirates in particular are in intensive talks with Egypt. Already Saudi Arabia is providing Egypt with 5 years of its fuel needs, and this is a major boost to the budget, as Egypt has a high percentage of its budget spent on energy and fuel imports. But at this point, we expect $2 billion to be handed over to Egypt from the United Arab Emirates and $1 billion from Saudi Arabia. And this we're talking as money that at very low cost loans at very low interest rates with a grace period of 3 to 4 years, and to be repaid over a long period of time. And those will be put into the central bank to give support to the dwindling foreign reserves that stand at around $15.5 billion. This is the red line. It should not go below 15 billion. So it's very close, and Egypt is targeting it to reach around 22 billion by the end of the year, mainly from loans and grants from different countries, whether in the Arab world or the international institutions.
Well, many thanks, Yasser, for those insights. Yasser Kim, of course, joining us there in Cairo.